Good morning, boys and girls. We're so excited that you're headed to the lab today. I wanted to give you a couple of tips about when you arrive, what you'll be doing. As you can see, my camera is pointed down at my login codes. You're going to need to log into the computer. You guys that are not new to Stanley Elementary, remember this. I actually have Miss Lang's class. She's a third grade teacher. And when you go to the lab, you'll see all of these out on the table. What I want you to do is I want you to find yours. And teachers, they might be in a plastic baggie. Just pull them out and pass those out. I'm actually going to use Hannah's. So Hannah, we're going to pretend that Mrs. Carr is you, and I'm going to log into the computer just like you're going to. Okay, I have the camera pointed towards the keyboard because when you log in, the first thing that you'll see is you'll see this on your screen. Press Control-Alt-Delete to open the window and log in. So down here on the keyboard, I'm looking for Control and Alt, and here they are. I'm going to push those two at the same time, and then I'm going to come up here to find the word delete, and I see it. It's right here. So I'm going to do Control-Alt-Delete all at the same time to be able to log in. After I've done that, your screen will look exactly like this. It will be ready for you to log in. Now what you might see is someone else's login associated with that screen. So if that's the case, there's a little button down here that says Switch User. I click on Switch User. I don't want to go to the one that has the picture, the icon that has the picture. I want to go to the other user. I'm going to click on Other User, and it says, okay, well, I'm ready to log in. What's your username and your password? Okay, so it needs my username and password. So Hannah, I am looking at your strip. Here's your strip. And I'm looking over underneath your name, and it says ID. Well, that happens to be your username. Right next to it, it says password. That is your password. If you'll notice, they're capital letters for your password. It does not have to be in capital letters. And also, the first letter on your username is a capital letter. It does not have to be a capital letter. So let me put Hannah's information in here. So Hannah's, it's her last, I'm not going to even use a capital letter. And then a whole bunch of numbers. And if you're looking at your ID badge, you'll see the same exact numbers on your ID badge. That is your username. Let me get Hannah's password in here. Remember, she has capital letters here, but I'm using lowercase letters. And then there's a little button over here. I'm going to select it, and then it is going to log her in. Yours might take a little bit of time. The first time that you log into the computer, it will take a little bit of time before you get here. Once you see this Windows screen, you are ready to roll. Okay, now you are ready to figure out where we want you to go to take the Scholastic Math Inventory. Hopefully you have a pencil and a piece of paper. You need a pencil and a piece of paper for scratch paper. So let's go and let me show you where you go to log into the Scholastic Math Inventory. I'm going to come all the way down to that internet icon. Okay, down at the very bottom of the screen has an E on it. I'm going to double click on it. When it opens up, it might actually, you might see the same screen that I'm seeing, and it says, what would you like to do to set up Internet Explorer? I'm going to say use the recommended, and then I say okay. And then you'll notice up at the top over here, a whole nother window has been opened. Well, I'm just going to close this one. I don't need this one. Do you see where I'm closing it? Right over here at the little X, not at the big red one, not that one. I don't want to close the whole thing, just right at this little X. And then I'm back over here to where I need to be. Okay, now here's where I really need you to listen. We thought an icon would be put on this screen for you so that you could easily find it, but it's not there. So we're going to do it another way. There's always a couple of ways to do things on the computer. You know that. I'm going to look over in the top left-hand corner. It says Katie Plus. I'm going to click on that little icon up in the top left-hand corner. That will take me to the Katie ISD web page. Then I'm going to come over here in the middle of the page, underneath the picture of all the kids. I'm going to look for the word students. Say that with me, students. Everybody say it, students. I'm going to look right for students, and I'm going to click on it. Okay, I'm going to go all the way out again. I'm going to go to the internet icon. I'm going to go to the KD plus icon. Here we go again. Making sure that you know how to get there. I'm going to look for what word? Students. That's right. If you said students, that's where I'm going. Students. And then I'm looking for the one that says Student Portal Elementary. I'm going to click right on Student Portal Elementary. And then look, once this comes up, the icon that I'm looking for is the SMI math one. And it's the one right above the coyote. Right when you see the respect with the coyote, it's directly above that, SMI, and it says the word math on it. You can't miss it. It's in purple. Okay? So I'm going to click on that. Okay, now this is where I really want you to listen. After you get to the SMI, it says Student Access up at the top. There's two that I can go to. The one that I want to go to is called SMI Math. It's the purple one again. Which one do I want to go to? That's right, the purple one, SMI Math. And I'm going to say go. And when you come in, it says, hey, what's your username? What's your password? The username is exactly the same username that you just typed in. So, let me find my friend Hannah's again. So I'm going to do lowercase. Actually, on this one, I'm going to do a capital letter. Okay, so I'm going to do capital, and then all those numbers that I just typed in. Does it matter if I get them in the right order? You bet it does. Make sure you put them in the right order. Okay, now the password, this is kind of silly, but the password does not match the password that you just put in. The password for yours on SMI is KISD1234. Say it with me. Let me do it again. I'm going to erase that. Say it with me. KISD1. Whoops, let me do it again. We're getting a lot of practice. KISD1234. And then I'm going to say go on. Okay? Right when you log in and you say go on, you are ready to take the test. Okay? What you will see on the bottom.
Now the test will measure how fast you can answer math facts. First, practice typing. Type the number fast and click next.
And you can see it will talk to you. This test is actually going to talk to you. Right now, it's not calculating how well you know the math facts. It's calculating how fast you are at them. So it knows how fast you normally answer things when you know it. Okay? What I want you to do is I want you to look down at this keyboard with me, because this is pretty important. If you use these numbers, I always want you to use these numbers on the test. If you use the top numbers on this row going across, I always want you to use those on the test. Don't switch between the ones on the top and the ones on the side. Pick one and stay with it. And teachers, you might need to talk about that with them so that they make sure they understand that. There is a next button on this, so after you've finished answering one, you can click next to go on. There is also a replay button on this. So if you do not hear something, make sure you click replay. There will also be little text reminders over in the corner that appear. Make sure you read it, and then you click and close it to answer the question. Okay? Miss Carr will be walking in and out of the labs to help you, but I think with this little intro, you'll know exactly how to log in. If you need help, remember, just raise your hand. Your teacher and Miss Carr will be in there to help you. Okay? I can't wait to see you in the lab.